This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews, and we have an album ranking. We're going to be ranking the albums by ZZ Top, or at least the first 10 albums, which will be from this box set. And I have a ZZ Top fan with me. His name is Dragonfire. So, how are you today, man?
I'm doing great. Excited to talk about ZZ Top, one of my favorite bands for sure. I definitely love me some ZZ Top.
That's awesome. I've been getting into them a lot more lately, and I've been reviewing a lot of their albums on my channel. I review them a lot on my second channel. I have another channel called JC Rock CD and Vinyl channel, and I'll be posting this on that channel. But anyway, well, let's get started. So we're gonna do it, I guess, the way we did it last time, even though our last video didn't work properly. But we're gonna start at the bottom. So, I mean, you're my guest, so I'll let you go first. Start with your number 10.
Okay, yeah. I will start with my number 10. Just real fast here, I wanted to say just a brief introduction of how I found out about ZZ Top.
Sure.
And just by the way, if anybody's wondering, there's probably some people watching this who are not used to my channel, but my name is Dragonfire, and I wear the mask because I am a part-time professional wrestler. I wrestle in Idaho and Utah, and if you want to check out some of my matches, I do have a professional wrestling playlist on my channel. But over on my channel, I talk about movies, I talk about music, I talk about TV shows, just whatever I feel like talking about. And I do a lot of music content on my channel. So today we're doing a ranking of ZZ Top's first 10 albums. We limited it to the first 10 to make it a little easier. We talked about this beforehand. But I just wanted to say I have these two box sets of the ZZ Top original albums. One of them has 5 and the other one has 5 more. They're not actually in order, but they are the first 10. See, ZZ Top's first album is actually listed on the second. It is in the second box set. But anyway, I have both box sets. So without any further ado, my number 10 is going to be Rio Grande Mud. This one, I like all of these. Just for starters, I like all of them. But this one for me did the least amount for me. I would say with ZZ Top, they do have a tendency to make some of their songs a little bit on the long side. And so sometimes if they just get going too long, it makes me kind of lose interest. Now, there are some really good long songs, but sometimes when they get going a little too long, I kind of lose interest in the songs themselves. And then the other thing I don't like is sometimes they just lean into the blues like way too much. They turn up the bluesiness a little bit too much. And those are some of the things I don't like. But I do like the kind of bluesy rock when it has the right mixture of blues and rock, and when it, southern rock or whatever you want to classify them as. But I do enjoy all 10 of these albums. My favorite song from Rio Grande Mud is Just Got Paid. But yeah, outside of that, this album didn't necessarily move me in the way that some of the other albums above it did. So that's my number 10, Rio Grande Mud, which I believe is from 1972, and it's their second album.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, my number 10 is going to be Afterburner. And I know it's a popular album and all that. It came out in the 80s. I think they just went like too much of that synthesizer sound. It sounds like too 80s. It sounds almost dated. So I think that's why I have it at the bottom. But now, it's not like I'm saying it's a bad album. I'm like, I don't dislike it. I just have it at the bottom for that reason. But with that being said, there are songs that I like. I mean, I like Sleeping Bag, Stages, Rough Boy. That's a really good one. But then, the Velcro Fly is pretty cool as well. But I think there's like too much of the synthesizer for me, or at least my taste. But I mean, there's going to be other like synthesizer albums like ranked higher. But for anyway, that's my my number 10, just for those reasons. So it's going to be Afterburner. Yeah.
Okay. Afterburner. Okay.
Yeah.
My number 9 is going to be Tres Hombres. This was an interesting one. It's 1973. It's their third album. And definitely my favorite song on Afterburner is La Grunge. And I'm holding up so you can see the track list in there.
Yeah.
You can see that. I like these, when they came in this box set, these are, the sleeves are meant to resemble miniature vinyls. So they're, basically the exact same sleeve if you had the full-size vinyl, but in CD form. Anyway, yeah, La Grunge I really like, but again, this just wasn't one of the albums that would rank higher for me. It wasn't one of the albums that spoke to me the most. So that's my number 9.
All right, cool. So my number 9, going back to the beginning with ZZ Top's first album, I think it's a good start. It has that raw sound. It's a very organic album. I mean, it's just the 3 guys playing, and it sounds very clean and all that. But I think as far as memorability of the songs, I think they're not really there. But I like the song like Swank. That's a pretty cool one. And I like Brown Sugar's a good one, and that's not the Rolling Stones song. It's a different song. Back to Love Affair. That one will come back later on Fandango. But I think they're starting out. It's good, but not as memorable as the ones that will come after it. So that's my number 9.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go, for my number 8 is going to be Tejas. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Tejas.
Yeah, Tejas, yeah.
Tejas. Yeah, it's from 1976. It's their 5th album. My favorite song on this one is Arrested for Driving While Blind. I really get a kick out of that song. It's pretty cool. I like, the comedic nature of it and so forth. So it's a pretty interesting one. But again, overall, this is just one. I could definitely put this one on as background music, but not a lot of it. Not a lot of it sticks out for me, but it's still, like I said, any ZZ Top album basically could be background music while I'm just going about my day doing stuff. And there's not a one of them that I've ever heard that I dislike. So I still like this one, but yeah, it's coming in at number 8 for me.
All right, cool. All right, so my number 8 is going to be Rio Grande Mud. And I think it's a step up from the first album. I think a little better. I like it. This was their first hit single called Francine. It's a decent song, but probably the best song that you mentioned, Just Got Paid. That's probably the best one. But pretty cool songs like Barbecue, Apologies to Pearly. I like Billy Gibbons' guitar tone. They're really starting to find their sound here. And it's just a really cool blues, organic. It's a very cool just album. I think it's good all the way through. But again, the other ones I like a lot better. So that's my number 8.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So it's time for my number 7. My number 7 is Afterburner. Afterburner.
Okay.
Here. And according to my notes, it's their 9th album. It came out in 1985. My favorite song on this one is "Planet of Women." I really like Planet of Women. It's a fun song. I like music that's fun a lot, for sure. And so I really love "Planet of Women." "Rough Boy" is one that I always found interesting because I remember the first time I ever heard "Rough Boy." At that point, when I was just a little kid. I was born in 1981. So when I first started listening to music, I had a bunch of older siblings and step-siblings, and we would watch MTV, and I was the youngest of the whole group, but we would watch MTV and stuff like that. So I remember when the music video for Rough Boy came out, and when I first saw Rough Boy off of this album here, I guess I was only 4 years old when it came out actually, but whenever it was the first time I saw the music video for Rough Boy, I'm sure that I had seen the music videos for Legs and some of their other songs first. So when Rough Boy came out and I heard Rough Boy, I just remember thinking how different it was. Like it didn't sound like Legs or Sharp Dressed Man or something like that. The ZZ Top songs I was already familiar with. So that
Yeah.
was just like it was kind of like, ooh, this is different. But I would say depending on the type of mood I'm in, I either really like Rough Boy, or sometimes if I'm not in the right mood for it, I'm kind of like, this isn't one of their best. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I'm kind of on the fence about it. But anyway, still, this is a pretty good album, Afterburner from 1985, non-studio album. And yeah, that comes in. Afterburner is my number 7.
All right, my number 7 is going to be Recycler. This one came out in 1990. It's their 10th album. And this is kind of like their 80s sound. There's lots of synthesizers here, but they're kind of like going a little back to basics in this one. So that's why I like it. Really good. I like the songs. Double Back, that was in Back to the Future Part 3, but that's a classic. But I think my favorite song, My Head's in Mississippi, this is the band going back to like their roots. This is like probably like one of their best songs, probably one of my favorites out of all their albums. But the rest of the album is pretty good. 2000 Blues is good. Burger Man is good. That's a pretty cool, fun music video. So it's a good album. It's a nice balance between their 80s sound and with their kind of older, more bluesy sound. So they're kind of going back to the roots on that one. Again, I like it a lot. And that's my number 7.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. My number 6. For number 6, I'm going with their first album from 1971, ZZ Top's first album. So appropriately titled, I guess. But yeah, this one was really nice too, because I kind of discovered ZZ Top more through their 80s stuff. So going back through their 70s catalog, when I discover some of the 71s I like more than others, but I really enjoy Backdoor Love Affair. I thought that's a really good song. And it kind of has some change ups. I know it's like a longer song, but I like it because it has change ups, so it doesn't feel like it feels less like one big long song, more like parts strung together. So it doesn't like keep me waiting that long. And I also kind of like Brown Sugar. Now Brown Sugar starts out really bluesy, and it's heavy into the blues at the beginning of the song, and it's kind of like, it's okay, I guess. But then when after the beginning, kind of the intro, then when the guitars and everything kick in, is that part after the intro that I really love about the song. So yeah, I like Brown Sugar, Backdoor Love Affair, and yeah, so I find this one really interesting, and it's my number 6. Or yeah, number 6. I'm on number 6. Number 6.
Yep.
ZZ Top's first album.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 6. I'm going I'm going with an album you mentioned before, Tejas. I think it's a pretty cool like transitional album. And let me open it up because this is one of like the few albums in the box set that came with like a gatefold. So again, really cool. It shows the 3 guys here, and then the background has some pretty cool like artwork and imagery. So I like this one. It's one of those albums. It doesn't have like the standout hits. It doesn't have any tracks that are maybe super recognizable. But I think it's a good album just to listen to start to finish. It's a solid album. It's really enjoyable because I think they're kind of going in little directions, a little bit of country, a little bit of more of that like Tex-Mex sound. And it's really good. You mentioned the song before, Arrested While Driving Blind. That's a good one. I like that one. I like She's a Heartbreaker. I like that one. And I like the last one, Asleep in the Desert, which is an instrumental. Pretty cool, almost like a very relaxing, almost like a it kind of like evokes like the imagery of like a being in the desert and relaxing. So that's why this is a very underrated album. I think it gets overlooked, and I think it's like one of the strongest. I mean, the couple other ones are better, but I think a lot of people like don't know about this one because it's kind of like in the middle of like the two eras where they had the big albums that we'll probably talk about later, and then like the ones that are moving into the 80s. But anyway, really good, like kind of like a good transitional album. That's what I would say. Yeah.
All right, I guess it's time for my number 5.
Yep.
So I actually forgot I was going to show this when I did my number 7, but I'll show it right now real fast. I actually also have Afterburner on cassette tape.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Afterburner on cassette tape. But yeah, that was my number 5, Afterburner, and then my number 6 was ZZ Top's first album, and now I'm ready for my number 5, which is Fandango. It's their 4th album from 1975, and that ranks as my number 5. And with Fandango, I would say my favorite tracks on this are their cover. They do a really good cover of Jailhouse Rock. I enjoy that. It's also it's got Backdoor Medley on it, which is fun. A fun song I enjoy, and I also kind of like Tush.
Yeah.
I enjoy that one. Tush is a good song. I actually have this one on vinyl too.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so the big vinyl there. But yeah, I got this at one of my local store here. Has a dollar bin, and you just flip through it, and you can find stuff for real cheap. And I was like, man, I can't pass up a ZZ Top album for $1. So
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
really
can
good.
tell it's damaged cover and everything, but like I said, if it's $1 and it's a ZZ Top album, I'm getting it. So
Yeah.
I got Fandango for $1. But yeah, I enjoyed this album. Like I said, I have some of my favorite songs on here. The Backdoor Medley is really cool. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. It has a mixture of both studio recorded tracks and live tracks. Kind of the closest thing they ever did to a live album in the 70s. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one.
All right, cool. So, what am I up to? I'm up to my number 5. I'm going with El Loco. This one came out in 1981. So right before they got big, right before the MTV days and Eliminator shows. Another album kind of gets overlooked. You know, it's kind of like a transitional album. They're playing around with the 80s sound, the synth and all that, but it still has that raw sound. But this one has a lot of really good deep cuts. And Pearl Necklace, that's a classic. And I'm trying to read Tube Snake Boogie. I like that one. That's a really good one. And pretty much the whole album. I think it's good. Like, I think the last few songs are kind of weird. Like, they do that weird, like, synthesizer songs. But other than that, really solid album. It has some really great tracks. And it kind of has a little bit of their early sound and a little bit of that 80s sound, which they're kind of toying with. But they're going to, do it later when we talk later about Eliminators. But anyway, this is my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was your number 5. My number 5.
You're on number 4, I think.
Oh, I'm on number 4. You're right. I am on number 4. Number 4 is Recycler. You talked about this album earlier.
Yeah.
Recycler. When I was listening back to this one for the first time in a while this past week, I was surprised just how much I enjoyed it. It's definitely Penthouse Eyes is one that I never really noticed before, but I did notice this time, and it's quickly become one of my favorite ZZ Top songs. There's something about that one that just appeals to me. And then another song I really like on this one is My Head's in Mississippi. Just really interesting, fun song. And then you mentioned in your review of this one, Recycler, the 10th album from 1990. It has a double back, which, like you said, was in the Back to the Future movies. Was it part 2 or part 3?
Part 3. It was the one where they go like the Wild West, yeah.
Yeah, don't they play that one live?
And ZZ Top, they appear.
Yeah, the
in the
Ambulance,
movie.
they
Yeah.
play double back. And, yeah, great. Yeah. So, um, yeah, this album is really cool, and I really enjoyed listening to it, especially getting ready for this ranking. So it does come in. Recycler is my number four.
Okay, so my number four is Degüello. This one came out in 1979. It's a really good album because they kind of took a long break. There was like a big gap, which is 3 years, which is long for them, between Tejas and this one. Definitely, it has a lot of some of my favorite songs. Like Cheap Sunglasses is one of my favorites, and I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide, another one of my favorites. But pretty cool deep cuts like She Loves My Automobile. Another one I like called Manic Mechanic, where they have this like kind of weird like voice distortion or whatever. They use some kind of device to distort the voice, and I think it's Dusty Hill on vocals in that one. I like that one. It's a really solid album. I think it's good. They're kind of like it's classic ZZ Top, but they're doing some different stuff. They're kind of like adapting to the musical landscape, which was the late '70s. So I think this is a really cool, underrated album. This is one of my favorites. This is my number four.
Okay, that's your number four,
Yeah,
and we're ready for my number three then.
yeah,
So I'm going with El Loco.
yeah,
Loco from 1981, their first album of the 80s, their seventh album overall. So yeah, 1981's El Loco. I've enjoyed this one. I love Tube Snake Boogie. Um, I like it when bands do not so subtle innuendo.
yeah.
So Tube Snake Boogie is a fun song. I love that. Another one that fits into that same category is Pearl Necklace. One of my favorites there. And then I also really like the song Heaven, Hell, or Houston. So three H's there, Triple H, I guess. But yeah, this is a really good album. This is one that'll put you in a good mood if you're ever feeling down.
Yeah.
I feel like so. Yeah, check out El Loco, 1981, their seventh album. That's my number three.
All right, cool. Okay, so my number three, I'm going with Fandango. I think it's just a classic. It has the two sides, the live songs and the studio songs. But the studio songs have some really some of their classics on it, like "Heard It on the X." That's about those Mexican radio stations that they would listen to, and they would like get it in Texas. Tush, that's one of their most famous songs. That's a good one. But even the other songs like Blackbird and Balinese, I mean, I think the studio songs are solid, and the live side is good. I think I like Backdoor Medley, and I like Jailhouse Rock. I like the Elvis cover. They actually do another Elvis cover on another one of their albums. I believe it's Triple X. But that one I don't have, but that's actually another decent album. But anyway, definitely a good album. It's a classic. I think this is like one of the most famous ones from the '70s. And it's just classic. It has the live, the studio, and just a really great album. So that's my number three.
Yeah, and that Fandango. I was just thinking a couple things about it. I believe that's the one that they left off of the big 6-pack set.
Yeah,
They did 6 of the first 7 albums. I think they left Fandango off, probably because half of it is a live album. I guess
yeah, it could be.
that could be, but yeah, I think they left that one off the 6-pack, which is unfortunate because I think it's a really neat album.
Yeah,
So we are at my number 2.
yeah,
Yeah, I chose Delujo, which is their 6th album from 1979.
yeah,
I really like the songs I Thank You, I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide, A Fool for Your Stockings, and Cheap Sunglasses are my favorite off of this album. My favorites. Cheap Sunglasses, probably one of the first ZZ Top songs that I ever heard, um, because that one would have already been out before I was even born. Um, and like I said, my older siblings were into music and ZZ Top and stuff. So, um, but yeah, this one, really nice album, their final album of the 70s. Um, and like I said, I mentioned my favorite songs on this, but yeah, great album. Cheap Sunglasses is an all-time classic. I think it was a hit for a reason. But yeah, some of the deeper cuts I also love, like I Thank You, Full for Your Stockings. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I really like this one. So that is my number two.
So my number two is going to be Eliminator. This is the classic. This has the big hits, Give Me All Your Lovin' and Sharp Man and Legs. Those were, I'm from that generation, the MTV generation. So I was like 11 or 12 years old when those videos were on. So, this is what I remember. This is where I discovered the band. But it's more than that. Lots of deep cuts here. I mean, it got me under pressure. That's great. TV Dinners, another great one. Bad Girl, Thug, that one's really good. So I think it's a solid album. And I think it holds up very well. And as far as like the synthesizers, I know it's kind of weird that I have this in number two and I have like Afterburner at the bottom for me, but I think like they did the 80s sound like right with this one. And I think when they did Afterburner, I think they kind of went too far in that direction. But I think this is a classic. And I don't know anyone like who doesn't like this album. I have like lots of friends who are metalheads and like they all love this album. Even if you're not a ZZ Top fan, like the songs, but I think most people like have this album in their collection, like it's like somewhere, either an old vinyl, an old cassette, or something. But definitely, this is my number two, and that's it. So probably you're gonna be talking about that more as well, right?
Yeah, it is my number one. I wish I had it on cassette. I actually do plan on buying a cassette version
Yeah.
of Eliminator, because like my top favorite albums that are like my real top favorite, I like to own them on multiple formats, and sometimes I'll just sit back and open the booklet or whatever while I'm listening to the album. I don't have it on cassette right now, but I do have it on vinyl.
Yeah.
So yeah, big vinyl there. And yeah, it is my favorite ZZ Top album. Give Me All Your Lovin', Got Me Under Pressure, Sharp Dressed Man, I Got Six, Legs, and If I Could Only Flag Her Down. Those are my favorites. I could only narrow it down to what, like those 5 or 6 that I just named are my favorite. I put those in my notes. But Legs, the music video, to me is one of the greatest music videos of all time. Sharp Dressed Man also has a cool music video. Give Me All Your Lovin' is just a good rockin' song. If I Could Only Flag Her Down is also one of my personal favorites that I discovered after, listening to the album all the way through. I heard some of the singles first. I don't think If I Could Only Flag Her Down, I don't think that was a single. I think I didn't hear that one until I actually listened to the album itself. But yeah, I love this album. Got it on CD, of course, too.
Awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely my number one. It's got the hits I loved when I was a kid, and then I listened to the rest of the album and hear some deeper cuts, and I love those too. So yeah, one of my favorite albums of all time. So I tracked down this final copy.
Okay, so that is my number one, and I'm going with Tres Hombres. I think this is just the album where they kind of like found like what they wanted to do. They found that bluesy, that Texas boogie sound, and it has just a great lineup, starting with Waiting for the Bus, and it's one of those songs where like it goes right into the second one, and I think like that was just like a happy accident, because when they were like editing the album, like for a production, they accidentally like cut the tape, and like the Waiting for the Bus and Jesus Just Left Chicago go right into each other, so it's kind of like a double song. And I know radio stations usually play them together, but it goes into Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers. That's a cool song, and like a lot of bands have covered that one. I forgot if we talked about that last time. I think like or someone in my comment section would tell me that Van Halen used to cover that one. But then Master of Sparks, that's a really good one, and everything else. And it has the classic Lagrange, so that's like one of the most well-known songs. And Have You Heard, really great album closer, and also really cool gatefold. This one also opens up. It has all that Tex-Mex food. Like every time I look at it, it just makes me hungry. This.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm hungry.
Just has all the nachos and all that. This is real, but I don't know. This is my favorite. This has that classic sound. This is where they like got that sound and they did it right. At least for me. So that's my number one. Yep.
All right, awesome.
All right. So
Thank you for having me on.
no problem. This was fun. And we'll do it again. So once I have this up, I'll send you the link, and people can subscribe. Subscribe to Dragonfire. There will be a link in the video description, or you can probably find it in the comment section or something like that. And anyone, thanks for watching. We'll be back soon, and take care.